Ah, just another day at the office as Frank Kimmel showed what home court advantage can do for a race team. 30 minutes from the Advance Auto Parts Port Forge race shop is where Frank continued to carve his name in the inside of the front row. The number 46 has been there for the last 5 trips to Salem. Kimmel took up the tail end of the field. Frank's fate was Deborah Renshaw's Fancy as she moved to the pole position and led the pack to the green. Deborah had trouble coming up to speed and relinquished her spot to Paul Menard in the 33 Turtle Wax Chevy. The rookie driver took the early lead, but soon was joined by Shelby Howard for some side-by-side racing for the lead. Traffic was a factor, and Shelby had to tuck in line and wait. Howard found the real estate on the inside was just enough to get by and take the lead. On lap 23, the number 54 of Frank Kamphammer suffered heavy front-end damage and was done for the day. By this time, defending ARCA RE/MAX champ Frank Kimmel was spending little time working his way to the front. Frank worked his way into the top 5 and was stalking the leaders when a collision off turn 2 collected several cars. Ron Cox in the number 23 and Mike Buckley in the number 28 managed to refire their machines and head for the pits. The number 47 of Mike Langston and Brent Sherman's number 44 ended their day on the hook. The Gladiator Garage Works crew went to work on Ron's number 23 Monte Carlo. By the time they were done, it wasn't pretty, but it was still rolling. Racing again, Andy Belmont at the helm of the number 1 Verizon Ford had worked his way from 7th starting spot to 3rd. The 46 went high, advancing toward the point. The 33 was next on the hit list as Kimmel caught Menard. The veteran driver pressured the rookie and pinned him on the outside behind some lap traffic. Jason Jarrett in the number 67 Damon RV Biomet Pontiac found himself in the leader's crosshairs. Howard shot to the inside to put Jarrett a lap down. Frank Kimmel mastered the slower cars and weaved his way within a breath of the 17-year-old's bumper, looking for the kid to make a mistake. Shelby pressed hard to stay in front. He drove deep into turn 1 and lost the handle. Shelby's bobble was just enough for Frank to drive by on the inside for the lead. While Frank found his comfort zone leading the race, the battle for second heated up. Paul Menard racing the Andy Petrie entry, and Shelby Howard locked up in a battle exchanging the advantage. Deborah Renshaw, making her Salem debut in the Ray Montgomery Motorsports number 27, was holding her own. Renshaw, getting seat time in the car normally piloted by Chase Montgomery, raced hard to hold a position against Andy Belmont. Andy took Renshaw and a slower car 3 wide coming out of turn 4 for the spot. Renshaw battled back when Christy Passmore slammed into the wall. The number 91 GAP Roofing Ford suffered front-end left side damage but was still rolling and headed back into battle. Another caution on lap 151 found Ryan Voss in the number 48 James Hilton Ford smoking and stopped on the front straight. But watch. The secondary impact came several seconds later when Deborah Renshaw and Andy Belmont collide. The number 19 Mertco Chevrolet with Darrell Sage at the helm was also collected in the wreck. Billy Venturini elected to stay out in his Hawk Saw and Blades Pontiac. Kimmel and Menard continued their war for second, dueling back and forth. Watch as Shelby Howard glances off the wall just ahead of the battle. Shelby quickly gathered the number 64 and continued racing, avoiding potential disaster. More yellow laundry flew, and Billy Venturini came in for some badly needed tires. The inside line was held up as Andy Belmont was slow coming up to speed. Jason Jarrett nudged the number 1, and Belmont got out of shape as Shelby and Frank distanced themselves from the field again. 4 lead lap cars would settle this in a green-white checkers barn burner. The 17-year-old calmly navigated the remaining mile with Kimmel nipping at his heels but unable to make a pass. Howard delivered the knockout punch and ended Kimmel's string of 5 wins at Salem, finishing over a half a second in front of the champ. With the victory, Shelby Howard leaves his mark in the ARCA RE/MAX record books, becoming the youngest race winner in the series' 51-year history. Howard wins his 30th ARCA RE/MAX start and vaults from 17th to 9th in season points.
Yeah, I tell you what, first off, I got to thank the crew. They did a great job that last stop. I think that's what did it for us. He ain't going to pass Frank here, but we made a few adjustments that last stop, and Eddie made a good call there, and the car's really good, so I'm just happy for everybody.
Frank Kimmel settles for second in the number 46 Advance Auto Parts Pork Ford, followed by Billy Venturini in the number 25 Hawk Saw and Blades Pontiac. Paul Menard's ARCA debut ended up in fourth as the number 33 Turtle Wax Monte Carlo finished as the last car on the lead lap. Andy Belmont brought the number 1 Verizon Ford home in fifth, just ahead of Jason Jarrett. ARCA veteran driver Joe Cooksey finished 2 laps down in seventh. Norm Benning equals his career best finish at 8th, followed by Christy Passmore. Michael Simcoe gathers his 3rd top 10 finish in 4 series starts. Now, let's look at how the rest of the drivers finished.